Well, I think of it as both an adjective and a noun. Divinity as a noun would be a divine being, and for me, that would be God. Divinity as an adjective is an attribute that I would aspire to, taking on divine attributes or becoming more godlike. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm still searching for the divine. I'm searching for the divine in myself. I look for it every day, and I find it in the people around me. I find it in nature. I think that's an eternal and perpetual quest for me. How I found God came little by little. I was raised in a home of faith, and I was raised knowing God lived and that He loved me. However, a personal relationship with God has just slowly evolved over the years as I have prayed and sought to know what His will would be for me. I'm finding Him again every single day as I work towards that. There's the conscious and the unconscious. I would like to be very glib and say, well, every action that I do is one of faith, but most of it is unconscious. It informs my actions with my students. I'm a professor, and I have faith that they will learn. I have faith that they will grow. I have faith that they change. It informs my faith as a wife, informs my actions as a mother. I have a belief that we exist for broader purposes than just the day-to-day, and so our actions on a daily basis should move us towards that. I look at my children and I see that my responsibility to them is one of love, but also one of responsibility, similarly with my husband, and similarly with my students. I believe that they are children of God, and that gives me an obligation and a responsibility and a connection to them as well. I have formal prayers. I have prayers with my family at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. I have prayers with my family at meal times. I have prayer with my husband at the end of the day, and then I have my personal prayers. So it sounds like I'm praying an awful lot. The most significant prayers, someone once told me that you should take every hope or wish and turn it into a prayer. So I'm driving down the street and I'm thinking about what I want for my children, and I hope my new grandbaby is doing well. I just very quickly shift that from, oh, I hope everything's going okay, to, Father, please watch over them. When I find a parking spot, thank you. I have found that those simple little interactions keep me centered and keep me grateful and help my stress. First of all, I'm grateful that the world is coming to respect my faith more, I believe. I no longer get the, are you a cult type questions, which I did growing up. I did get that question quite frequently. My faith is known for the pragmatics of my faith. Good families, welfare programs, service, charity. We're not well known for our testimony of the Savior of Jesus Christ. We're not well known for the sincerity of our testimonies. And I think that's difficult because that's an incredibly personal element to be known for, but I wish we were known more for our faith instead of our cultural quirks. I have never had what people might call a crisis of faith, where it was I might leave or stop believing. There have been times when I have doubted that my beliefs actually would help me. I was going through an intensely personal and difficult time in my life, and I was speaking to my mother about it, and she said, well, isn't it nice to know that you're a child of God? And I somewhat bit her head off and said, that doesn't help me one bit. What I meant was it doesn't take away the difficulty. And it wasn't until later that I looked back and realized it absolutely did help me. It sustained me through that difficult time. People of faith and people of trials are the same. Blessings are not the absence of trial, they are the strength and the support that we receive during that time of difficulty. We say, well, I've been abandoned, and then you look around and you see all of the tools that came into place to help you endure. When I look around and I see those moments, it helps me understand that I've not been alone. I'm actually thinking of two dear friends of mine. One woman is Hindu, who has lived in the United States for probably 35 years, but grew up in India in a very traditional home. And I admire her for all of the things that I admire in people of my own faith. That her faith centers her, it makes her kind, it makes her look at the world with a softness and an empathy that I cherish in her. When I see people of faith, whether it's my own or of another religious faith, it's that kinship, it's that sense that we're not here purely for our own self. I think that perspective is something that I connect with in others. Sometimes I think people perceive faith and righteousness particularly. I call it the candy machine mentality. I put in 4 quarters worth of righteousness and I will get G7. Well, that never happens. But it gives me guidelines. It helps me understand what I'm working towards, and I'm so grateful for that. It's intensely personal. I believe through prayer, through inspiration, through promptings, that I can face any situation, even something that I haven't even fathomed yet. The unexpected I can still face because of that personal connection to God. I belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or most often known as the Mormons.